And everybody's talking about inflation. They're talking about the supply chain disruption. And you've got Costco and a lot of other large chains are putting people on basically rationing eggs. You can only have buy this many at a time. But the egg prices went up 15% just in January. Now, that's not on Trump. That's on Biden. And we know what the basis of that is. But wouldn't that be the first thing that you would do, is to stop that? I don't know. That'd be the first thing I would do. It's pretty easy. It doesn't require any money to stop the USDA. As a matter of fact, just shut them down completely. But you could at least stop their murder, wholesale slaughter, literally, of birds. And so this is a story, CBS, and they say egg prices shot up 15% in January as retailers are limiting customer purchases. And they say, so why are eggs so expensive? Well, here is CBS's answer. The price spike in eggs is largely driven by bird flu, which continues to hit farms and wipe out flocks. Is that what's happening? Bird flu is not killing 10, 15, actually it's like 13 million, 14 million a month. That's not bird flu killing them. That's the USDA killing them. They come in and they get one bird that has a false flag PCR test. And on the basis of that, they kill all the birds. And they're killing 13 million, 14 million a month. Last couple of months. It's not bird flu that's killing them. It's the USDA. Come on. Bird brain. If you don't have a bird, you don't have an egg, they said. I guess CBS is talking to really stupid people. Really? Is that where the eggs come from? They come from a bird? That was somebody told that to their CBS News reporter, Andres Gutierrez. The millions of egg-laying hens killed by avian flu. No, they're killed by the USDA. Can't be replaced easily and quickly. High egg prices are due to the avian flu issue. No, they're due to the USDA issue, which is cutting the supply of available eggs for sale. Yeah, this is bird flu for dummies. You'll soon see that book on the shelf. So when will egg prices drop? Well, now they go to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which is appropriate since they're the ones killing all the birds for no reason. Again, if it was, let's say that it's a virus, and let's say that it's got a high case fatality rate, maybe it's going to kill 40, 50% of the birds that are there. Remember, Rod Redfield was trying to scare us. He said, it's just inevitable before this bird flu transmogrifies into a human virus. And when that happens, I know it's going to kill 25 to 50% of the humans. So be afraid. Okay. If that's a scary number, how does he know any of that? Well, he doesn't. He's just making it up, obviously, but it was reported everywhere. Look at this. It's coming, and it's going to kill 25 to 50% of the people who get sick with it. So that's a very dangerous situation, isn't it? According to their paradigm, you got a virus, and if you get that virus, you get the cooties, 25 to 50% of you are going to die. Well, let's say that's the situation with birds. So then why are you killing 100% of the birds when you've got only one bird that's got a PCR false flag? Why are you killing all of them? Well, we know why. So the USDA says egg prices are expected to rise a total of 20% in 2025. That's what they're aiming for. Two things have to happen for prices to ease, according to the USDA. The U.S. must contain the bird flu, and older chickens that are past their productive primes, as well as diseased chickens, have to be replaced. Exactly how long all of this will take is uncertain, says the USDA. How long would it take to get rid of the USDA? Should be able to do it in an afternoon, wouldn't you think? I wouldn't be surprised, said one of their experts, to see prices continue to go up because we continue to have outbreaks. No, I wouldn't be surprised to see the prices go up because we continue to have USDA. And we continue to have the MockingBird flu because, it's whatever the government says it is. We're just going to repeat it. Biden's parting legacy, says Zero Hedge, is the most expensive breakfast ever. You see, it's Biden. It's Biden. It's not the USDA. It's just Biden. It's partisan politics from Zero Hedge. This is what you can expect from the con media that's trying to con you and all this stuff. Don't worry. Everything's fine now. We're going to get it under control because Trump is there. No, if the USDA stays, they're going to continue to kill birds and everything is going to continue to get worse. And they're going to do the same thing with cattle, and they're going to do the same thing with dairy. And nobody wants to point out the fact that the C40 agenda, all these cities, Bloomberg, Sadiq Khan, the UN, they want to make sure that we don't have milk and dairy. And this is the way you do it. They want to make sure we don't have farms. They want to make sure that the farms that do exist are going to be owned by the technate and that they're going to put the mRNA in our food as well, not just in the nasal spray. We just witnessed the largest monthly jump in the price of breakfast ever, says Zero Hedge. And so, but it's all Biden's fault. It's not the USDA. So the problem's been taken care of. Biden is gone. Even though the USDA remains, Biden is gone. And so the problem is taken care of. The cost of a decent meal to start the day, eggs, bacon, cheese, bread, and coffee rose over 50%, mainly due to the cost of eggs, they said. And so they're not going to talk about the real issue. And then here's the other issue that's on its way to be inflationary, and that is the tariffs. And it's not just the Canadian and Mexican tariffs that he scared everybody with, but now he's put tariffs on steel and aluminum. And so the automobile industry, in a meeting that they were having, they're speaking at Wolf Research Conference on Tuesday. And so you have the CEO of Ford, the CEO of GM, and the two American car companies that are left. They said, we're looking at costs and chaos. That's what the Ford CEO said. He said the Trump tariffs will, quote, blow a hole, unquote, in the auto industry. So he said, whether we're targeting neighbors like Canada and Mexico or raw materials like steel and aluminum, it's going to wreak havoc on the car industry. He said, let's be real, honest, long-term, a 25% tariff across Mexico and Canadian borders will blow a hole in the U.S. industry that we have never seen, said Farley, the CEO of Ford. The tariffs on steel and aluminum also tax the very materials that cars are built from. GM executives at the same event admitted that they are scrambling to soften the blow. CEO Mary Barra told investors they could only, quote, mitigate 30 to 50% of tariffs without deploying capital. The CEO of Anderson Economic Group said the tariffs could deliver, quote, a triple whammy for the auto industry and could hammer states' economies in states like Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana. They said, we are scrambling to manage the company as professionals, and we are in a global race. You see, by changing from Biden or Lala to Trump, what they do is they still continue to attack the automobile industry. They just do it in a different way. But the goal is to get rid of private cars. Because we got people, as I showed you yesterday, Elon Musk wants to make sure that we all rent our rides from him. We rent our cars, our transportation, by the ride from Elon Musk. That has been in the works for the longest time. That you will not buy a car. You'll not even rent a car. You'll rent the ride. And you'll rent it from people like Elon Musk. And so Trump has got his own new spin. You know, isn't it interesting? The Democrats will attack from this direction and the Republicans will attack from that direction, but they always have the same end goal.